Hey guys, welcome back to Ignite Fitness. Hope you're all feeling awesome and ready to tackle today's workout. Today's workout is all about working our mobility. So when I talk about doing a mobility workout, guys, I mean about improving the fascia around our ligaments and the joints so that you're more movable, so that you can get deeper in your squat, so you can do a better push-up, so you're stronger overall. So when we do these mobility workouts, it's so important and so crucial, especially if you're weightlifting. I love doing them. It makes my body feel great. It makes me feel stronger, and I know that I can do what I'm doing in the gym or in my home workouts even better because of it. So let's jump into it. We're going to start on our bums. We don't need any equipment today, just our mat and our water. On our bums, we're going to start with ankle and wrist rotations. So we're just going to take them out, rotating, so pointing and then flexing the foot. So we're getting that full range of motion, and if you can, bring your wrists into it. Taking it outward, and then we're going to bring them in as well. So just play around going in and out, keeping that belly locked in, chest lifted, beautiful, all the way out. Plant the hands in staff pose, press the palms into the mat, push yourself up. We're just going to point and flex the feet. When we work on our ankle mobility, guys, this is really going to improve your squat. So if you are someone who likes to lift heavy in the gym and you're working on your front or your back squat, working that ankle mobility is going to be crucial. Help with stability and help you get nice and low in that squat as well. Beautiful. Flex those feet, take the arms up, and we're going to dive forward and reach for those toes. Just opening up the back, give it a little wiggle. We're not going to stay in any of these stretches for too long. So crisscross the arm over to the opposite foot. Reaching like that, and opposite side. Beautiful. And we're going to start working the hips now. So again, staying in this position, planting those hands in staff pose. We're just going to work by lifting from the hip flexor here. So we're just going to take one leg up, lift. So keep those hands planted into the mat to find that control. Give me 3 more on this side. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Plant that again. We'll switch to the other leg. Control it. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Take those arms up, reach forward for those toes. Well done, guys. Get a nice little stretch on those hamstrings as well. Even from here, you could point and flex the toes. Just giving, depending on your range of mobility, range of motion, to reach for those toes. Get a little deeper stretch out of it. Come back into staff. Plant those hands against the mat. This time we're going to lift our leg, cross it over, lift, and down. We'll alternate sides this time. Here we go, guys. 3, 2, 1. Lift, cross, up, and down. Lift, cross, up, and down. Working those hip flexors, and then don't worry, we're going to lengthen them back out. But this is something that's often overlooked in most fitness programs. These hip flexors are so important, so strengthening them is really, really great and helps advance your fitness program. Helps you get deeper, helps you build a good foundation for your strength. Give me 1 more each side. 1 and 2. Beautiful. Lift those arms up towards the sky. Come back down. Reach for those toes. Going a little lower this time if you can. Leading with the chest. Bring the chest towards the upper thigh. Not the chin towards the knees. The chest towards the upper thigh. Beautiful. All right. Let's flip it on over onto our hands, knees position. If you need a sip of water, take it. It's good to stay hydrated even though we're not doing a really intense workout today. All right. Into our tabletop position. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, belly's locked in. We're going to come into some shoulder rotation. So we're going to take our fingers out. So we're going to rotate our hands out as far as they'll go. So if for you, it might come just out to the side. It might come all the way around the back. And some people with really amazing shoulder mobility might be able to go even further. So test your own limits, listen to your body. And just to get that little stretch through the forearms, you can just rock back and forth from this position. Keeping those shoulders hip width apart. Or the hands hip width apart. This time we're going to take those hands back into neutral and we're going to rotate them in this time. So we're working that external and internal rotation of the shoulders. This is really going to feel really good on your pectoral muscles as well. And once again, I'm just rocking back and forth so I can get a little bit more mobility through my forearms. Those tend to get overlooked and not worked very often. Beautiful. Take those hands back through neutral position. Plant them. We're going to walk them out. So keep that belly in nice and tight. We're going to go into puppy pose. So we're going to walk those hands out in front of us, leading with the chest, trying to bring the chest down toward the mat. And lift and lower it down. So again, we're working that shoulder mobility here, getting a nicer range of motion, opening up the chest. Make sure those palms are planted so you're not sliding out. We want to stay safe. Beautiful. Just hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it up. Walk those hands back in. Let's take the shoulders through and thread the needle. So taking the arms through, we're going to hold 2, 3, switch sides. Crisscrossing that arm, bringing that shoulder down. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Reaching that arm as far as it will go on either side. By doing this, we're also working that nice rotation through the spine. And spinal mobility is definitely something that gets overlooked. No one ever says, I'm working out my spine, right? You're working out your legs or you're working out your arms, but you're not working out your hips or your spine. One more each side. Last one. Beautiful. Walk those hands back in. Let's go through a cat-cow. So arch the back, look up towards the sky, and you inhale. We're going to round the spine, tuck the chin, drop the pelvis. Find your own little flow here, taking it as far as your body will allow. Cat-cow is all about showing the spine some love. You can open up the hips even further. You can rock them side to side, opening everything up beautifully. Love it, guys. So from here, we're going to tuck our toes, coming in through high plank. Keep those palms nice and steady. We're going to alternate runner's lunge. Stepping it forward, step that foot back, opposite side, step it in. So we're just holding these stretches for a brief second, really warming up those hip flexors as we start slowly begin to stretch them out before we come for our more active stretches. Beautiful. Keep it going. I know this is going to get challenging after a while, just holding in that plank position. Breathe through it. Give me 4 more. This is 4. Step it back. 3. Last 2. Step it back. Last 1. Beautiful. Come to center. Back into that high plank. Let's press our hips back for downward dog. Walk those feet out. Stretch out the back of the calf muscles here, walking the dog. Beautiful. All right, let's hold steady. Lift the left leg up towards the sky. We'll drive it through our palms. Drop the back knee, coming into Anjaneyasana. Nice hip flexor stretch. Pressing those hips forward, opening up that hip flexor, engaging through the glutes, keeping the hips parallel, drawing the inner thighs together. Draw the belly up and in, and then we'll extend the arms overhead. Option to stay here if this feels good to you. If you want to advance your practice and go a little deeper into that hip flexor, you can slowly become into a back bend. Beautiful. And we're going to come forward, shift the hips back, press back into a half splits. Stretching out that hamstring, counter stretching. Now shift forward, press it back. Shift forward, press it back. If you need to tuck your toes on the back leg to protect the knee, you can do that. Whatever feels most natural to your body. Just finding a nice little flow, sinking a little deeper into that stretch each time, really giving those hips some love. Beautiful. Hold here. This time I want you to bring the back knee off the mat. Take both hands to the inside of the leg. And we're just going to rock through those hips. Take them opening through that front leg. Rock through those hips, opening everything up. Going very slowly because we don't want to overextend those muscles, especially if they're new to stretching and to working them. Just breathe through this as you rock and flow. Beautiful. Plant that back knee, and same thing, we're going to keep that circle going. This time, coming back into that hip flexor. So rounding through it. Pressing those hips forward. Beautiful. Feeling good. Getting a little lower in that leg. Now let's just hold here. You can keep your hands down, or if you want to come back and shift upright, you can. Beautiful. Breathe through it. Yeah. Let's plant our hands back on the mat. Send that leg back. Press up through our down dog. Walk those feet out. Walk the dog. Keep those fingers firmly planted into the mat. Hold steady. Let's lift the right leg up toward the sky before we drive it all the way through. Back to our Anjaneyasana, our half lunge. Lifting the arms overhead, remembering to draw those inner thighs together so we're really sinking and keeping those muscles active as we work here. Drop the shoulders down the spine, keep them away from the ears. Stay here, or option to come into back bend. Beautiful. Breathe into that stretch. Belly's in tight. Alright guys, dive it back forward. Let's shift our hips back into half splits, sorry. Hold it. And let's begin our little flow. So we'll rock forward into our half lunge, press back, half splits. Moving at your own pace, whatever feels good for the body. If you are really new to this kind of mobility, stretching, and working, take your time. Listen to your body. Beautiful. This time we're going to plant both hands, tuck that back leg, and coming through that little flow through our runner's lunge here. So we're just rotating in that front hip, opening up the leg, sinking a little deeper. Really focusing on opening up those hips. Beautiful. Let's drop the back knee and keep that movement going from our half lunge. Beautiful. Hold center. Let's tuck that knee back and come into a nice seated pose. We're going to take our knees to one side this time. So from here, we've got like a little Z position going on with our legs. We're going to press up through the hip. So we'll just stay on the one side to begin with. So plant that back hand, push those hips up and open, tuck them down. Press them up and open, draw them back down. Really shift that hip forward. You'll feel again in your hip flexors, right through your pelvis, That nice stretch. Opening them up. Creating more dynamic movement with the body. 3 more like this. 2. And our last one here. Push those hips all the way forward and bring them back down. And before we do the other side, we're just going to rock the legs side to side. So again, if this is a challenge for you, just take your time going as far as you can with the goal of bringing both knees to the mat. Alternating those legs. Beautiful. I love these workouts. They're such gentle movement. It's so loving on the joints and on the body. You know that you're doing something good for your body when you do these mobility workouts. Beautiful. A couple more. Here's 2 and 1. Shift all the way to the other side, finding that nice Z position. Z, depending on where you are in the world. Plant that back hand. Let's press our hips up and forward. And take the hand wherever feels good. If you want to take it overhead like me, or you just want to hold it down, it's really all about that motion in the hips. Pressing them forward, opening them up. Beautiful. 3 more. 3, 2, last one here. Press it up and come on down. Grab a sip of water, guys, and we're going to come up to standing. We are going to keep working on those hips. We're just going to come into some walking hip openers. So I'll demo quickly. So we're just going to step, 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 open up the hip. Keeping your guard up in this. This is very much a Muay Thai move. So keeping the guard up as we walk out. Open the hips. Join me whenever you're ready. Take your time. So again, this is another strengthening movement, right? I think we're focusing on that lift. Those hip flexors are working. And this is just creating that nice opening through the hip, through the adductors. A couple more like this, guys. You're doing great. Last one. Beautiful. Coming center on the mat, taking the feet nice and close together. We're going to walk our hands down as far as they'll go with the main goal of trying to bring the fingertips as close to the mat as possible. From here, we're going to bend our hips, tuck the chin in, and we'll straighten the legs. Bend the knees, straighten the legs. Each time we do this movement, you should be able to sink a little lower. So we really want to flood the body with oxygen here. So breathing in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Finding a nice little flow here, up and down. More like this, rounding through that spine, extending, pressing the chest closer towards the upper thigh. And the last one, we're going to hold in this forward fold, bringing that chest as close to the upper thigh as possible, really getting deep into those hamstrings. We're going to slowly roll it up, allowing the head and the chin to be the last thing that comes up. Allow the body to return to a nice neutral state, coming center. We're going to step our feet out nice and wide, sink into a nice deep sumo squat, taking the hands to the inside of the thigh, planting my palms, and we're going to shift the body to one side, pressing that shoulder forward, opening up through the back. So again, just shifting side to side to there. Oh, it feels so, so good. And then once again, we're pressing into those hips, right? We're getting a little more depth through our adductors. And the adductors, they're right in here, guys. So that's where you're gonna feel that stretch. Press deep, 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 and shift. Beautiful. Press it deep and shift. And the body should be nice and warm right now, guys. So from here, I want you to start shifting side to side, trying to bring the hands closer to the mat, pressing through those opposite legs, trying to sink nice and low, even getting the hips lower if you can. Press that booty back, shifting through those hips. I know this is going to feel quite spicy, but it's beautiful. We're going to feel it on the hamstrings, inner thighs, trying to walk those fingertips to the mat. Beautiful. Now we're going to walk over to one side, hold. Try to bring your bum down, planting that foot. Take the opposite toes toward the sky, opening up through the hip here. This is a challenging one. This is somewhere I've struggled with my hips here as well. So it takes time to get here. So if you have to plant your hands to support yourself or even put a yoga block under your bum, you can do that. Beautiful. We're gonna walk it all the way over to the other side. And one side may be easier than the other. One side may be more difficult. That's totally normal. Plant that foot. Try to take the foot parallel. Walk it out. Beautiful. Remember, guys, if you need to take your hands down for balance, take your hands down for balance. And we'll shift. Dog's coming in for say hi. Walk those toes in. We're gonna slip into a yogi squat. So if you need to stay up here, feel free to stay up here, but we're gonna try and bring those hips down. So turning the toes out, heels towards you, sinking into a yogi squat. So this is signs of healthy hip mobility, guys. If you can stay in a yogi squat for 1 minute a day, this is like peak mobility. This is where you want to be with your body. This is when you know your body's in its most natural state. Healthy joints, healthy fascia. We want to be here, okay? So this is the goal. So if you were working on your mobility, this is where you want to get to, okay? So dropping that tailbone towards the mat, opening up through those hips, we're pressing into those inner thighs with the elbows, palms together, chest lifted. Smile. Shift as you have to. If you need to come out of it and sink back in, do that. Ready. Beautiful, guys. You have done amazing today. We're so near the end of this one. All right, let's plant those palms, lift the hips all the way up towards the sky, coming into a forward fold, kind of counteracting that stretch. Beautiful, guys. Plant those palms. We're going to come back down to the mat, onto our knees. We're just going to work the chest a little bit and we are done our mobility workout for today. So bum towards the heels, lift the chest. Take those hands out in front of you. We're going to tuck them all the way around behind our back. Interlace our fingers. Open up the chest. Push that chest forward. And from here, we're going to press up off of our hips. And as we do that, I want you to take the head forward. Lift through that chest. And we'll sink it back down. Again, press the hips up, dive that head down, open up through that chest. If you're struggling with any upper back pain through your rhomboids and even through your traps, it can be almost always attributed to having tight pectoral muscles. It's so good to stretch them out. Open up that heart area. Coming down to our tummy. Last move. We're going to take one hand out to the side, planting the other hand. We're going to rotate into that extended arm, trying to get the foot out. It may feel a little intense at first. Again, you're going to feel opening up through that heart. Press into that supporting palm to really get that nice rotation through the spine. Then we're going to come forward. Sticking with the same side, rotate. And come back center. Rotate. Take your time on that rotation, gentle on the body. Come back center. Rotate. Plant that foot. Come back center. Let's do that one more time on this side. Rotate into it. And come back center. All right, guys, extend the opposite arm out. Plant the hand, extend it. Make sure the body's fully prone. We're gonna get ready to rotate. 3, 2, 1. Rotate, and this time we're just gonna hold to begin. Press through that palm. Got a nice crack in my spine, felt amazing. Putting everything back into natural alignment. Beautiful. Press into that supporting palm. Get a little deeper. And we'll take it forward. And rotate back in. And go forward, back prone. And rotate open. Give me 2 more. Forward. Slowly rotate into it. And go forward. And rotate into it. Beautiful, guys. Plant those palms. Push your hips back. Taking your bum all the way to your heels. Let's walk it out for a quick child's pose. Breathe into this, expand the back, expand the chest, take the air all the way down deep into the belly. And walk those hands back in. Shake it out, guys. You did amazing today. That is your mobility workout. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope it served your body well. Remember, guys, if you are trying to advance your workout programs either at home or at the gym, these mobility workouts are so important to add to your fitness regimen. I will see you guys on the mat again tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.